I mean, what the hell did she expect to happen here? Like, oh, I thought he would answer the door and we can have a chit chat about his views on women and Jews. Like, yeah, you think that's gonna happen? You don't think that he's probably in a constant state of paranoia because his house has been doxxed?
Hi. Oh my God! What are you doing?
Get the fuck out of here.
Get the fuck out of here. Takes the phone. He drops it.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that?
I want to see. Were they recording that? I want to see their footage.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
First things first, bitch. First things first.
Oh my God! What are you doing?
Get the fuck out of here.
The push. And then the domineering standing over her corpse, her lifeless corpse.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, pick up your paper. He should have, if he would have grabbed his paper before he went in, that would have been total Jija Chad move. I mean, what the hell did she expect to happen here? Like, oh, I thought he would answer the door and we can have a chit chat about his views on women and Jews. Like, yeah, you think that's going to happen? You don't think that he's probably in a constant state of paranoia because his house has been doxxed? Which I think partially, that was up on X for a long time. And apparently he was bitching to X and Elon and all these people for a good portion of time, and they would not take it down. They eventually did, but it was up there for a minute. I think some of that was intentional. Elon and Nick have had a rocky relationship. I don't really know where to place them, honestly, because he'll say he's a fad, they get into it, and then the next thing you know, he's out there chilling the Technate and kind of seeming like he's on the same side as Elon, and you're like, I don't really know what to make of that whole relationship. But if it is a hostile one and they want to get rid of Nick, that would be like a passive way of doing it, is like, we're going to have people are going to dox you, post your address online, and we're just going to like not take it down. Somebody will eventually kill him, right? Somebody will get rid of him. And they almost did. Some guy showed up at his house with guns. So I think some of that is like, whoa, I don't know, man. I don't know what's going on there. Why did she wave? Did she wave?
Hi. Oh my God!
Oh.
What are you doing?
Hi. Hi. Shh.
Get the fuck out of here.
Why did he answer the door? I can tell you why he answered the door. Because she's an old lady, and this is to make an example. He goes, okay, this isn't some big burly black guy. This isn't anybody. This is broad daylight. She doesn't appear to have any weapons on her. She just has her phone. I'm going to make an example out of her, and it'll be easy. And it was. I mean, look at this smooth
Hi.
push down the stairs.
Get the fuck out of
Oh, that moan she makes. Oh. You look out the window, you see like a gang of like 4 people. You might be like, nah, you ain't dealing with that. You see a really, really big dude with like a duffel bag. You're like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. But you see an old lady. All right, this is my chance. It could have been way worse though, too, because, you know, she could have fallen and like broken her fucking neck or some shit, or smashed her head on the ground and died. That could have been real bad. And then he would have been in big trouble. Oh. This is interesting because we just saw last stream Clavicular's ex. She's claiming that Clavicular is now bought and paid for, and he's no longer the same in the club playing HH, crazy free man that he once was. Now he is kissing the wall.
It's crazy. He went from like saying Hail Hitler to kissing the wall.
And it looks like there might be some truth to that. So Richard Hanania has this interesting article here. He says, Clavicular is now friends and business partners with a Jewish mobster who brags about once having cut off a man's ear and is a suspect in multiple murders. They're starting a, quote, dating app meant to distribute women more equally to members of the incel community, end quote. Promising. So he started a club down in Miami, but apparently he went in on it with this guy, this Baccara club. So it's saying he was in the hospital for overdosing, but he wasn't out of commission very long. He took the IV out of his arm and left the hospital against medical advice. Why would he do that? Because he had to attend the opening that evening of his own Miami Beach nightclub, Baccara, and his new business partner isn't a man to be kept waiting. That man is Miami nightlife impresario Hai Wakneen. Wakneen lives a glamorous life. He's married to a former model, and he partied on his yacht with rapper Offset just before the rapper was shot earlier this month. Offset was shot? That's how much I know about rapper news. Now he's taking Clavicular under his wing, helping him sign a deal for a dating app meant to distribute women more equally to members of the incel community and guiding him through condominium purchases. Miami has a very big Jewish population. It's like one of the biggest in America. So you got to figure maybe there is something going on there where there's the Jewish mafia, Jewish mob is controlling a lot of the clubs down there. Maybe you have to. Maybe in order to have a club in Miami, you got to go through people like this. I don't know. But then I feel like somebody in his position maybe would think about having a different, line of work than owning a club in Miami if you're going to have to side up with the Jewish mafia, maybe. But I mean, Clav is like, he just like literally doesn't give a shit. That's the thing. He doesn't seem to be a very principled person.
You see, Clav bought property for 5 meters with High Awake Night, has an Israeli mob member and was convicted in the past. Why do you associate with him? Helix Planet and got his chance to be in the industry.
I did see that. Yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. Yeah, he's operating. I think, what publication was this? It was one of these things reported it earlier today, because I didn't even think that was true. I saw one of the clipping accounts say Clavicular made a deal with an Israeli billionaire scammer, and that's how they opened up the club. And I didn't even think that was real. I thought that was just exaggerated or something. But then I saw an actual news source report. No, it is an Israeli mobster. It's some Israeli billionaire or something. That's who they're in business with. And look, in fairness,
Here comes the code.
Clavicular always said he only cares about mogging. You can't hold it against him.
That's true.
You just can't. Because he always said, I don't care about politics. I don't care about America. He said, I only care about mogging. Like, nobody can feel betrayed by that. People say, oh, now Clavicular's doing this. Now he's doing that. What do you mean now? He has always been consistent. They asked him, what do you think about trannies? He said, one less person I have to worry about. One less person that will never mog me. That's who we're dealing with here. Monomaniacal focus on looks and mogging. So, in fairness, nobody can feel betrayed and nobody can feel like they got caught by surprise here. He always told us what he was about. With that being said, obviously I believe in morality and ethics, and I don't think that's ethical. I don't think it's good to get involved with some of the stuff he's involved with, and it's his life. Obviously, he's his own man, and he's got his own code and everything. I get it, but obviously I don't approve. But I'm not his dad, so he can do whatever he wants. I like him. Even though he's doing all that, look, not everything has to be super political. Why do you associate? I love, that's my favorite question that I love when people interrogate me. Why do you associate? What does that even mean, by the way? I don't even know what that means. Because I believe in the world. I live in the world among people. What does that even mean? Who am I allowed to associate with? Do I have to associate only with people that I agree with everything they do? How they make their money, how they live their lives? It's ridiculous. I live in the world. I associate with people that I find interesting. I associate with people that I find interesting, with people that I like, with people that I get along with people that benefit me in some way. Why does anybody
That's the big
associate
one.
with anybody?
Benefit, right?
Because we live in the world, because we live in a society. So I hate this idea of like, don't associate with so-and-so, as if like by virtue of acknowledging their existence or something, I'm somehow complicit in their actions. I don't see it that way.
No, that's not the problem. The problem is that you go on full assault on people you don't like. You attack people based on almost seemingly arbitrary reasons, but then you allow other people other things to slide. And the only thing that I can tell on why you allow that is because they benefit you in some way, or they're bending the knee to you. That's the only thing I can see. You're creating this movement and you're saying you're trying to make the country better, but then you're surrounding yourself with degens who are actually going to make it, that whole movement, less legitimate and make it worse. And you're cool or on an okay level with people, certain people, and you let it slide. But then other people, you are just like outright blasting. And really, the only thing that's different between these two people is that this person's bending the knee and this person's not. And it's like, okay, so it really doesn't have to do with appealing to this kind of objective ethic. It has to do with whether or not you're good to me and you give me what's mine. That's what I see from him and for the various people who have come and gone. I would understand it and be more like, okay, if you're just cool with everybody in a positive kind of relationship with everybody, or at least neutral, fine. But like you willingly attack people and then you let other people slide. And then it becomes arbitrary. It becomes just his personal preference on it. And it's like, okay, it has nothing to do with all the shit you're espousing. It has nothing to do with being moral or the ethics of the matter. To wit, right? It has nothing to do with this guy's morals or ethics. The mogging, the drug usage, the OnlyFans, the Jewish Mafia. Well, that's all whatever, man. That's fine. Okay. But then what? Like, then you get into it with like Candace Owens once, twice maybe. And then it's just like making money with Jews after getting lit to HH in the club is actually mog. Right. And then it's like Nick's ethical, like, why he's doing the things he's doing, why he chooses certain people he's doing is for the clout, is for how you benefit me in this moment, and whether or not you are willing to bend the knee to me. That's like a power move, right? And I can get that, right? Like he's saying, Clav's being at least consistent to a degree. But if you want to have that mentality and you want to let people slide just to get clout, well, then you really shouldn't have anything wrong with people doing that to you, right? People going all out, kind of a war of all against all. And it's like, why would you even have a problem with organized jewelry or whatever if they're just out doing it to you? Like, that's not what it is. It's like the movement should be appealing to a universal ethic, something that we're actually pointing to and saying, you are not fitting the criteria. This is a problem. It's not just who can collect the most power. If that's what it is, fine. Let us know that. But don't do this like back and forth shit where you're appealing to some ethic, but then letting other people totally slide on that ethic. Nick only likes him because he's relevant and up. Yeah, that's kind of what I think it is, man. He caught the wave, and that was that, just to inch up the followers. As a movement trying to appeal to an ethic, the Christian ethic, that's what the movement is spearheaded by. That has to be the litmus on who's in the movement, who's associated with the movement, who's. If you want to just say, I just want to get power for power's sake, okay, then go take the Jewish money. That's how you'll do that. That's what Clav's doing. But it's like, no, I wouldn't do that because I have ethics. It's like, is that what it is? Or like, what's the litmus here?